That's right. Make Stockton better together. All right. So, you know what? Let's start this track over because this is the best bomb song. And thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. KXVS, the voice of Stockton with Donovan and Mr. Details, Dustin Breakwell. This is Governor Don signing off.
My name is Josh, and you're listening to KXVS, the voice of Stockton, 92.1 FM.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Breaking Barriers, your Wednesday lunch hour show featured under the Spotlight of the Arts series, and I am your host, Jocelyn. Today we have our guest, Zack Macasaet, and he is with Creators Workshop right over here on March Lane, actually, nearby. And he's going to talk to us about some of the things that they do over there at that really unique, cool little site. But first, let me talk about KXVS for a little bit. Let's do some of the admin stuff here. We're going to have a fundraiser coming up on Saturday. It's from 12 noon until 12 midnight, and it's to benefit our tower that we were proposing to put up. And we have different performers all throughout the day, so it's going to be at Channel Brewery. I really think you guys should check it out. It's going to be awesome. And one of the things that Spotlight on the Arts is putting together is like a backdrop for a photo booth. And it's going to be a treat to see. It's still a surprise. We have it. It's in progress. I'm going to go back out there with Joy today and finish it up. So it'll be ready for Saturday. I'm going to just read something real quick about KXVS. A voice is one of the most important things a community can have, and KXVS, the voice of Stockton, has answered that call. We are building a new community radio station, your radio station, and we need your help. We're inviting all Stocktonians to join the effort so together we can build our citywide FM radio station. There are several ways to contribute, but the easiest way that I'm going to tell you now is just get on the website, and it's kxvs.org, and just log on, and you'll find different ways to donate online, and the address to mail in your donation. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, so donations made to the Voice of Stockton can be tax deductible. I was just trying to figure out what that sound was. Dustin, what was that?
I have no clue what that was, actually. I'm just wondering myself what that was.
Okay, so again, my guest today is Zack Macasaet. He is with Creators Workshop. He is on March Lane.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Zack. Good to have you here today. Thank you for
taking
taking the time during your lunch hour to be here.
No problem. Thank you for having me here today.
Yeah. I actually went over to, they kind of like had a soft opening last Friday, right?
I guess best to describe it is definitely a soft opening.
Yeah.
We invited some families, had some pizza, fun event.
Yeah, we went over there. My daughter and I went over there, and we were just kind of amazed at the site and all the different things that were available as far as Legos go. So Lego enthusiasts should definitely check it out. It is at 1625 West March Lane. And it's the workshop has two levels. The first level has the different displays of his work. And at the second level, it is the assorted Lego bins that you've got also.
Yeah, like was it extra creative space?
Yes.
Where kids can play, build, design, create their own little things.
Yes. Why don't you give us a little bit of history, how you started, when you started? I mean, we all have exposure to Lego, sometime in our lives, and we're just kind of like, we take it to a certain point, and then, like for me, I went from, building what's on the box that they suggest to, I'm going to build a garden or flowers, to I'm going to build some rooms, or I'm going to build some, I don't know, firearms or something. And that's where we go. We stop at that. But for you, you went beyond that. I mean, you've created different plans. You've had like miniature replicas of military vehicles. I mean, this is serious stuff. So tell us about how you went through that progress.
Thank you. It's definitely a very natural progression, I guess. I guess if I were to track it down to when I really got serious with designing with Legos, would have to be when I got a giant box of Legos from my older cousin who had this large collection. I want to say it could have been a 10-foot by, 4 by 4 box just full of Legos, which he himself collected over the years, and it's like Lego space stuff. And when he gave it to me, I went wild, and I was building non-stop, and my parents would always get upset with me for being up late at night, digging through the Legos, and making a bunch of noises. So I took that all the way up to maybe in high school, and I was already like publishing stuff on the internet, small little Lego Star Wars stuff and other little Lego minifigure tank stuff. And then I think it's only about 4 years ago, that's when I really got into doing military motorized vehicles, when you learn from like Lego has these like electronic motors which you can use to incorporate into your Lego creations. And I saw this one guy with this giant Lego tank on the internet, and I said, you know what, I want to build something just like that, or even better. And I think I finally hit a point where I got to that point where I'm building giant Lego tanks and really cool motorized Lego vehicles. And yeah, if I was to track down how I got all started and where I am at right now, that would be it.
Wow. Okay. Like I said, I started with like, oh, and you know what another thing is that's cool about the site is, I remember for us having a tight budget, some certain collections of Legos are a little bit more pricey, a little bit more spendy than others.
Definitely.
So having that work site where you're at, the workshop, you have access to a variety of different ones, right?
Definitely the workshop is meant for accessibility. Really getting it out there that kids can play with Legos in the workshop. Kids can play with Legos in the workshop, and it's really to allow kids to have that access into playing with Legos. And we have a lot of Legos there which kids can play with.
Awesome. Okay. Let's see. The materials you use are, like you said, can you hang on just a second? I keep hearing something here. Sorry about that. There is something on my phone here that for some reason it just keeps turning off. So I'm just going to take a real quick reality break here. And it was my phone, actually, that was making all that noise. Okay, back on track. So where do you get your ideas from? I mean, like I said, you progressed from very simple to absolutely intricate, detailed stuff.
I guess a lot of my inspiration comes from just going online, and I type in anything Lego military, and that's what I do. And then just even going to the movies, and you say, hey, you know what, I can make that in Legos. Like Rogue One, that came out like New Year's, right? And I said, you know what, I have an old Lego set of one of the motorized, Lego AT-AT walkers. You know what, I'm gonna make that motorized. And I wish I have it on a video there. I think I have a video of it over there, but
okay. Maybe we can get to that a little bit later.
Yeah,
I do
definitely
have something here that we can show. And this is probably what was making some of the noise, and I didn't even realize it. Explain to us what's happening here. It looks like...
So right there, I'm actually designing... I built that recently, well, relatively recently, about a month ago. It took about a month to design, but it's a T34 Russian battle tank from World War II. And it has independent suspension, it's fully tracked, remote controlled, and it also has an automatic shooting mechanism. Here I was really trying to figure out a way how to make a compact shooting mechanism, and I built the tank around it, really. And I wanted, since it was a really great shooting mechanism, I really had to go with a very iconic tank. For people who know tanks, the T34 is definitely one of those very iconic tanks, so I said I had to build it. And here it's a pretty large tank here, and I think in that video I just ordered up all the parts and put it all together, and it took about 4 hours for that one.
4 hours?
Yes.
I think it would probably take me 4 days, 4 months for me. No.
Well,
actually that's pretty awesome.
That one I sold to a person in Michigan, and he's actually having some hard times putting it together. But I think he already has it all put together, and he's just figuring out how to work out the controls. It'd be easy if it was right next there to me, but I mean, if people were to come into the workshop, it'd be easy for me to show you how all those things work.
Yeah. So the other day when I was at the workshop, I noticed a bunch of duplicate things on the shelf.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See.
So
Yeah.
you have like a lot of different kits and stuff, I guess, you know, the duplications. Why so many? What was going on here?
Oh, well, I want to say about 4 years ago, I was really big into like Lego Star Wars. And
Yes.
right. And I got in my head that I was gonna make a giant Lego Star Wars diorama, because I saw on the internet this guy, he made this giant Hoth diorama with a walking AT walker from like the fourth movie of Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. Well, I wanted to do something with the prequels, right? That's like Attack of the Clones.
Oh, okay.
Right, so I have a lot of droids, a lot of clones, a lot of TTE walkers, and I made them all motorized just to make this giant diorama, but I never got around to getting to do it. So with the start of this, the workshop, opening up the workshop, I kind of said, you know what, maybe it's just too big of a project for one person to do, and I definitely like it for kids in Stockton to get into a project like that with me and doing that within the workshop.
So we kind of saw a little bit of the process of how he put together that, what was that one, the tank earlier?
Yeah, the T34.
So it's a pretty much a ready-made kit on this one?
I designed.
You designed it.
I designed and built it using a 3D designing software, actually. And I ordered up all the parts from this one website, bricklink.com. It can be a little bit, it used to be very, very tricky how to navigate that website, how to order parts, individual parts, ones that you need. But once you get the hang of it, you can order up parts, and you don't need to be trying to search through all your Legos. And
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. What other ones? Let's see here. We've got this other one here we can take a look at. Let's see if we can get that one going.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool, pretty large scale tank there. I think I made that about 4 months ago. Yeah. No, it could be even 8 months ago. Yeah.
That is pretty large scale.
Yeah, that's a really, really large scale tank.
What are you doing with your cell phone there? Is that the remote?
Yeah. I actually.
There's an app. Obviously. There's an app for that.
There's an app for that.
To control your tank.
Yeah, using Bluetooth, and you can design the control panel for it. And I have it for this large scale tank. You can actually. That's also a custom battery there that I made for the tank there.
A custom battery, meaning that you had to make sure that it fit in there in its own little case.
I had to solder the wires and that kind of stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's where your help is, really important when the kids come in and create these things.
Definitely big. I want to be that kind of resource to allow kids to really explore really technical aspects of Lego. How do you make something motorized? How do you make it move? How do you make it remote control? How do you control it by your phone? My workshop is the best place for that.
Yeah,
You can see how the tank here, it has all the shooting functions and independent
I actually
suspension.
saw this. Was it the same tank that you had?
Yeah.
And it was just, he put some styrofoam cups, stacked them, and then there were actual missiles or something.
Yeah, little shooting
like that.
bolts there, yeah. And this shooting Length 3 Technic beam. For anyone who likes Legos, they would know what that is. And I have a little shooting mechanism. Took a long time to record all of that, actually.
So a lot of these parts are not, well, some of them you can probably get locally, and some of them you probably have to custom order, or some of the components you may have to order online.
Well, if you're talking about like getting parts by opening up Lego sets and then finding the parts from those, that would take a long time.
Yeah.
But you can pretty much find any Lego piece. I can order any Lego piece and find them and have them within my workshop within a week.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So if a kid comes in and he says,
I want this Lego piece.
This. I want to do something like that, but at a smaller scale or something, you can get them started on doing that.
Easily.
I think it's really important that some people might think, oh, these are just little toys and it's just for fun. But there's engineering involved in this. There's a lot of mechanics involved in it. And it can translate later on to something a lot bigger.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the STEM programs incorporate Legos as well in some of the schools, don't they?
Definitely, they definitely do. And I was actually speaking with another Lego enthusiast about how Lego really incorporates with like robotics and such. And they were saying that it's really a great stepping stone, Legos, because Legos and its playability, the ability to take apart so easily and learn it so quickly, it really throws you into the whole mess of designing something, engineering, making it move, mechanical aspects, gears, motors, such.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
those are all the things you'd probably be doing in a robotics environment, right? You'd need to go through the process of designing, coming up with a mechanism to make it do a robot do this and that, programming, and that's where I think where a lot of my skills there would be useful for.
That's awesome. We're going to take a really quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about your YouTube channel, and that's going to be really interesting. There's all kinds of stuff on there. Yeah, absolutely. See you in a little bit.
Ships. by in-depth analysis of your chart. For the first time in Stockton, you now have access to a professional numerologist here to help you light your own way. I'm in the booth to help you find your own truth. Tune in to Divine Numerology every Friday at 3 p.m. on The Voice of Stockton.
You're listening to The Voice of Stockton on KXVS.
Welcome back. I'm Jocelyn, your host for Breaking Barriers here. Today's guest is Zack Macasaet. He is with Creators Workshop over here on March Lane in Stockton, California. And they are a place for Lego enthusiasts where you can build, create, bring your imagination. You can do whatever you want. Lego is a great medium. We were just talking to Christy about that a few minutes ago. One of it was like, you were talking about an artist that actually...
Yeah, Sean Kenny.
Sean Kenny.
Really
he
amazing.
uses Legos for visual art.
Visual art. He does sculptures. He does mosaics. Really talented fellow. Really great backstory. And she was saying he was a lawyer and said, I don't want to be a lawyer anymore.
Yeah,
I'm going to just pursue art in Lego. So
amazing. Of all things, let's do Lego forever. We're going to look at one of Zack's videos. He's got other Lego enthusiasts where they share information and stuff. Can you tell us a little bit about this one here? It's the helicopter.
Yeah.
The Super Cobra.
Yeah, Super Cobra.
I'm going to fast forward it. And then you've got this. You built it for this fella here, right?
Yeah, he was actually a U.S. Marine.
Uh-huh.
And he flew that exact helicopter. It was a UH-1 Whiskey Super Cobra.
That is awesome.
Yeah, really awesome, really amazing resource. He gave me a bunch of information, a lot of technical aspects about how I should design the helicopter, and then I did my magic on it, made it out of Lego, made it motorized, and in this video he's talking about how much he likes it, how much he loves it, and how awesome he is.
Yeah, there's so many different things to that. You actually brought something today.
Yeah, I brought
here.
I brought that helicopter in today.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Maybe will you be able to bring it? Oh, you know what? Let's leave it on there and just switch a camera over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can.
Thanks. So that's the actual. Is it going to take off?
Almost looks like it would be.
Watch it knock the camera off.
Yeah, I'm trying not
That's
to hit
amazing.
Yeah, this one is on loan from this guy over here.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. He's letting me borrow it while I'm doing my workshops and such, because it's just a really great Lego creation. It's so fun to just look at it and play with.
My brother is so into drones.
Oh, yeah?
And it totally, like, I'm so afraid that it's going to take off, because that's what he does. He just, like, starts it up and it takes off. So I'm like, it's okay. It's not going to go anywhere.
I definitely have to look into that, trying to make a real flying Lego creation. But, I mean...
That would be amazing.
Yeah, because every time...
A Lego drone.
Exactly.
It's got to be all lightweight materials, that's for sure.
Yeah, but with drone stuff, they have such powerful electric motors, you can really do anything, make anything fly out of it.
That's true.
Big enough motors, big enough battery, you can do it.
You know, and my brother's also fabricating some of the parts for certain drones. He's like customizing them too, so that's a whole nother world there.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that in. That's awesome. So that's the actual piece there.
Yeah.
And
in this video, he's just talking about all the technical aspects, the rockets, the stripes on the missiles. Yeah, he's fanboying over it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what are one of your goals for the Creators Workshop? I mean, you had touched on sharing this with the youth, having them in there. And, you know, what is your main goal with doing this?
Main goal would be to make it accessible for kids to design and build their own Lego creations, and have a space to do that. What made
you think that it was something that the community was going to be into? Because I know I'm like, hey, I'm into it. I love it. You know, I want to share this, right? So
you realize that, I mean, recently, with all the people I've been meeting with, I noticed that Stockton has a lot of people who like Legos, like really a lot of people who like Legos. Like even with the pizza event,
Yes.
I was actually amazed how many people showed up, and they were having a lot of fun within the workshop. And,
yes. Like in the community that I live in Weston Ranch, kind of southwest Stockton. There's a lot of moms who would love to take their kids to this workshop and, just to get their hands in there to dig through the Lego bins and just have them create stuff. So definitely an asset to the community and to the schools nearby. Yeah.
Something definitely nearby. I think to get something similar like my workshop, you'd probably have to go to at least San Francisco or maybe somewhere down south, a few miles down.
That's true.
Closer to LA.
I don't think I've seen anything like that around here. Yeah, it's mostly in the maker spaces are usually a Bay Area phenomenon. Although I think they're catching on here. The libraries now have maker spaces as well. I think they're going to. Cesar Chavez has one, I believe, and so it's nice to see that people are catching on here in the Stockton area.
Definitely, and that'd be just to be a part of that is really my main goal here. Be a part of that creative community here in Stockton.
You had one that was that formed a bridge. Is this the one?
I'm not
that
sure.
Created the bridge. Okay. I had them all queued up earlier, and for some reason, they all disappeared.
I think it would be that one over there, maybe.
This one?
Yeah, let's try that one. That's another one.
Actually, this is the one that you had at the workshop on Friday as well, right?
Yeah, that's one of the Lego creations which I presented.
Oh, yeah. This is it. Cool.
And it's also sped up there, so you don't need to wait too long to watch it. I remember I made that just before New Year's, and I was so stoked that I got everything to work. And because building something like that takes a lot of figuring out, making sure that it's balanced, it's strong enough to hold the weight of the tank.
Right.
And,
the engineering aspect of it needs to be spot on, otherwise it's like, whoops.
Yeah, you won't believe how many times the tank tries to run over the bridge and it just collapses right on it, and you have to put together all the pieces. But it's great. I finally have it to a point where it's very, very reliable there.
Oh.
Yeah, and there you have. It's supposed to be a bridge-laying vehicle for other tanks to get across small gaps, and it's actually based on a real military vehicle.
Right.
Called a AVLB. I think they're making a new one now, JAB, Joint Assault Bridge. But yeah, pretty cool.
Very cool. We've got some questions here from Richie. This is one of my viewers. How old were you when you were introduced to Legos?
Oh man, could be really young. Could be as young as 5. I mean, Legos being as they are, I mean, it's accessible to really young kids. I'd say 5 at least.
Yeah. What is your most complicated piece that you've created?
That one right there. That one's really complicated, really technical right there.
So it went across and then it grabbed it, and then now it's wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Really technical piece, that one. But anything else like that?
Yeah. Any other ones that are pretty complicated?
Most of my tanks have a lot of work goes into designing my tanks as well. The tank that we showed earlier, that one's pretty technical too.
Yeah.
The shooting mechanism there.
The shooting mechanism was really...
That took a while to figure out.
Let's see, I have another here. Of all the pieces that you've made, what is your favorite one?
Oh man, that'd have to be my Abrams tank. I'm not sure if we should put up a video of it, but my M1 Abrams tank, because that was my first Lego tank build. And that one I'm always
We'll pull that one up after this.
Yeah,
if we
there's always something I can improve on there. It's kind of like the test bed of all my ideas of what I can incorporate into a Lego tank.
Yeah, here's one. Have you ever sold any of your work? Yes. I mean, there's
actually.
There's Lego enthusiasts all around. So
yeah. Most of my works are sold like around in the U.S. Like I sold one recently in Michigan of one of my tanks there with an automatic shooting mechanism, And then my most popular one would be the Abrams Tank, my favorite tank there, because I think that's a really iconic U.S. tank. But I'm also I send stuff off to Germany, South Korea, a lot of cool things there.
Let's go take a look at that Abrams tank. Let's see if we could find it here.
Let me see. Maybe a little bit lower there.
Low, scroll down.
Up above, actually. Right there. Epic
This one.
Lego Abrams RC tank.
So everyone, if you want to check out these pieces live and in person, you can go to the Creators Workshop on March Lane. Oh.
Yeah, and it has a little truck that's carrying it there.
Okay, I am like amazed at all these things.
And then it shoots, it has independent suspension. I don't think here it has lights, but the one I have currently, it has lights.
Okay. See, I really think kids should really get their hands on this type of learning experience. If they have the opportunity to do it.
Like, I mean, I'm talking about a lot of my Lego tanks, Lego military vehicles, but I don't want it to be... The workshop is open to all kinds of different themes. Like, I mean, I do a lot of Star Wars as well. Kids, they like doing architecture, cars, trucks, and the workshop is definitely a place for kids who like just Lego. Anything and everything Lego. The workshop.
So it's not limited to what we're seeing here on his YouTube channel, although that is what he specializes in.
Yeah, it's kind of like a niche in like Legos.
Yeah. But there's also, like you said, Star Wars and a bunch of other what this a lot of boys will probably be really interested in this. Well, and there are going to be some girls that are going to be interested in this.
Definitely. I mean, a lot of the girls in the workshop had a lot of fun playing with the Legos that we had there. We have, I do a lot of stuff actually with, one thing that I motorized was a Lego Ferris wheel. I made a Lego motorized Ferris wheel, but I don't have a video of it for one of my coworkers, but something like that would be very popular.
Then, do you have any other? One of the other questions is, do you have any other workshops besides in Stockton? So, that's funny. You were just mentioning something like that, possibly in Mountain House.
Yeah, possibly.
Maybe?
Well, so a physical space where I keep all my Legos. I only have one here in Stockton, but I do go out to different communities and do Lego workshops where I'm teaching them how to some of the basics when it comes to Lego power functions. That's like the motors which I use for building a lot of my tanks and military stuff. And I think I'm doing one. I think beginning of August, right off in Mountain House. And then I'm still taking in signups for ones here in Stockton. Here that'd be conducted within the workshop.
Sure. What are some of the things that you do in the programs that you have available? Are there different tiers? Are there different age groups? Are there how does that work? You know, I know that there's some younger ones that might be interested in something like this. Might be a little bit, you know,
well,
complicated for them.
With younger kids, just getting a Lego set and going through a manual and putting it together, just learning through exposure is really the best idea when it comes with younger kids. And especially doing that within the workshop, you're seeing really technical Lego creations. It gives them ideas of what they could be designing and building. So just having a bunch of Legos, having a space to do it, that's the best for younger kids, maybe under 10. But once you get to about above 10, that's where the workshop really excels into developing young designers and creators. We'd be teaching them all the technical skills you need to know to design and build these kind of things, like Lego Digital Designer. That's something very technical, sometimes kind of hard to get into the habit of. But once you get into the habit of using that software to design everything, you can really take off. And then ordering parts, where to find them, how to organize your parts, motorizing it, finding all those motorized elements, that can be a trick too. So that's what the workshop would be for older kids. And we want to do more events, opening up the workshop that kids just see a community of Lego enthusiasts, and then also do exhibits like making a giant diorama. That'd be something fun for everyone to get into.
It'd be kind of neat to do like a contest too, to see what some of these bright young kids can come up with. I'm sure that there's
definitely. And
that would be amazing.
We really want to develop Lego designers and have them publish their work in the workshop within here in Stockton.
Yeah, definitely. So, let's see here. I'm trying to find. There was one other one that I really thought was really cool, but let's see.
Which one?
The
were you
Cobra.
looking at?
It was another helicopter. How many helicopters did you have made?
I only
Two?
have one
just
motorized
the one. Okay,
one.
then that's the one that I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Okay. So, when you... Okay, I have some other questions here. He was asking me do you take any requests of things that people want you to make?
Almost,
Like you specifically, will you, when somebody says, hey, can you build this? Oh, I know what it was. It was the at.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I can find that now, but do you take requests of things people want you to make?
Definitely.
Yeah, it looks like that's what you did already, huh?
Yeah, a lot of my military creations were actually asked for and requested by veterans, actually. So yeah, I definitely take requests. It's very hard to find the time to get it done quickly, but once you get down there, I can practically build anything with Legos.
Yeah.
I can build anything with Legos.
Well, like I said, people use it as an interesting art medium too. So, yeah, so it's really cool. The the two spaces, the one you have upstairs, there's bins up there. So is that for the younger kids at all, or is that for everyone to access?
Well, the upstairs I was using it as it was empty because we had a lot of guests. We were expecting a lot of guests.
Oh, okay.
So it's still an open space for me. On the lower space, we'd want to have like all the kids playing down there where they can see all the Legos and such. And the upstairs, it's going to be kind of like, I'm thinking about putting in like photography, video recording.
Oh, okay,
up there.
okay.
But definitely want to have more space for the kids to design and build.
Okay, for those of you that are interested in learning more about the Creators Workshop and you want to find some information online, you can go to Facebook to their page. If you do a search on Creators Workshop, I was able to find it. I know, Zack, you were saying that if you make it all one word,
yeah, Creators Workshop Stockton,
you're able to find it as well. So Creators Workshop Stockton, if you do a search. I just did Creators Workshop and I was able to find it. Yeah. So maybe it depends on whether or not your location is turned on and it just grabs whatever's nearby.
Yeah.
But he will have, these are just all the latest updates on what's going on at the space. See if I can give you an idea of what the space looks like. Actually, this is like a view from upstairs. So you can see that there's a big space there that the kids can come in and do all kinds of things. And this was like at the pizza party last Friday.
Yes.
And then this was one of his demos that he did on Friday, right? And I'm going to turn down that volume. So it's really cool. We're trying to get people, kids especially, more involved in this. I know that in my community there's a lot of parents that are trying to find something to do with their kids, especially in the summertime. They're always looking for some sort of activity or something for them to do. This is definitely an option for them.
Definitely.
And like, what are there particular hours? Can people come in like at a drop-in basis, or?
Let's see. It's best if you call. Make sure I'm usually available anytime, and I can make a quick trip because I live real nearby actually to the workshop. So I can. But I'm always running back and forth doing Lego-related business stuff. But I do have regular hours. I'm usually available during the weekends. Evenings. Weekends, evenings.
Weekends and evenings. Okay. And if you guys want to get a hold of them, like I said, you can go on to the Facebook page and they'll be able to answer your questions through there, or call them. The phone number is
209 855 1857.
1857. There you go. And he's got different examples. Oh, you know what? I was going to talk about, have you heard of this thing called, like a movement called, where people paint rocks and they hide them and then they post them on Facebook? Have you heard of that?
No, I haven't actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I just wanted to give a shout out to Eden Landscaping, first of all, because they donated some rocks for the kids to paint. And I'm planning on doing like a really cool contest with rocks that are painted, and I'm going to hide them throughout the city of Stockton. And whoever finds it, they'll post it on there's a page on Facebook, a group called Stockton Rocks. They can post their picture there of the rock that they found, and if they bring the rock back to me, I will give them passes for sinistercreatures.com. That's not until November, so I'm not going to start this contest until probably in August, because the event, Tracy Reptile Expo, not Sinister Creatures, it's in November. So basically it's going to be a contest. I'll give you guys more information on it. I'll have it on my page. If you add me on Facebook, it's Jocelyn Conde. That's my profile. And we are about to wrap up our show for the day with Zachary. I just wanted to share that little bit of information. And like I said, if you want to get a hold of Zachary, you can contact him through the Facebook page or his phone number, 209-855-1857, the Creators Workshop here on March Lane. And I just want to thank you for coming to our station today.
Oh, thank you.
On
Thank
your
you
lunch
for having
hour.
me today.
And we're going to wrap this up for the day. Thank you, Dustin, for boarding for me.
Thank you very much.
Bye, everyone. We'll see you next week.